Lamine Yamal is the second most successful dribbler in La Liga this season, at just 17 years old. He's completed 108 successful dribbles with a high success rate that puts him above players like Vinicius Jr., Rafinha, and even Mbappe. And many might think, I need to learn more skills to become like him. I need this, I need that. But the opposite is true. The less you do, the better your dribbling becomes. Yes, you heard it right. The less you do, the more you achieve. And this is not a made-up excuse, because in order to achieve something, you need to sacrifice the unnecessary things that do not serve your goal. That's why I want to introduce you to the concept of minimalist dribbling. Minimalism is the art of cutting out the excess and focusing only on what really matters. You don't need to learn a lot of tricks in order to dribble. You don't need hours in cone drills. You need efficiency. And I know this concept of doing less is so contradictory. You've been taught that doing more and more will get you faster results. But that's what makes most players fail in football. So instead of doing more, learn how to do less and reach more than average. Players like Yamal, Messi, Hazard, Salah, Doku are masters of this. They keep it simple. They make every touch count. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can do the same. Let's get into it. So, how does Lamine Yamal manage to dribble through players and make it look so effortless? Let's take a moment to analyze how he plays in matches and figure out how we can apply this to our own game. So, Yamal has this usual habit of worrying his defenders on both sides with crosses, through cuts in the middle and the trivela. And that alone has made him the top assister in La Liga this season. But what does this have to do with dribbling? Well, everything. His ability to provide such accurate and versatile crosses is a big reason why defenders find it so difficult to predict his movements. So, dribbling is not just ankle breaking your opponent, but knowing how to use every tool at your disposal to keep defenders choosing the wrong option. It is a game of guessing. Yamal's unpredictability lies in his ability to switch effortlessly between styles of attack. For example, defenders often anticipate him cutting inside to whip in a cross or take a shot with his left foot. Watch in this clip how the defender tries to avoid his cross, knowing that he very often makes them this way. And Yamal uses this opportunity to his advantage to make a fake and change direction, gaining important seconds for more space. Just a fake, because he knows how to position himself on different occasions. Many players, even good ones, hesitate when forced onto their weaker foot. They avoid those situations altogether, which makes them easier to read. Yamal doesn't have that problem. He's just as comfortable shifting to his weaker foot as he is playing to his stronger side. If a defender closes off his left, Yamal doesn't panic. He stays calm, executes a simple shot feint, and glides to his right, instantly changing the angle of attack. You see how minimalist are his plays? This is the beauty of his game. Defenders can't lock him down because he's adaptable. He's comfortable no matter where you force him, and that makes him a nightmare to defend against. So, what does this teach us? Dribbling is more than feinting and going. It is a game of options, and you win if you get your defender read the wrong one. Now, how can we develop the same unpredictability? This is a good question. You see, as I said before, a great dribbler has many options at their disposal, and to beat a defender, they should guide them into reading the wrong one. But here's the thing, unpredictability isn't always about having endless options. Sometimes timing is the matter. There will be moments in a game where you don't have the luxury of multiple choices. You're left with the most obvious move, the one everyone sees coming. But even in those situations, it's the timing of your action that makes all the difference. Take Robben as an example. Every defender knew exactly what he was going to do. He was going to cut inside and shoot with his left foot. It was predictable, and yet no one could stop him. Why? Because he mastered the art of breaking the defender's momentum at the perfect moment. Even when his move was obvious, his sense of timing made him unstoppable. And imagine this. Instead of just a cut inside, you apply the same principle to other skills. Body feints, fake shots, even simple changes of pace. And this is what Yamal is actually doing at 17 of age. And in the next part of this video, I'm going to break down exactly how to master this, how to use timing to your advantage, and most importantly, how to become a minimalist dribbler yourself. The first thing you need to start doing from today is watching more 90-minute games. Stop scrolling through reels and highlights. They don't tell the full story. If you want to improve, you need to shift your perspective. Start watching games like an analyzer, not as entertainment. Focus on a specific player in your position and study them in depth. Don't just look at what they do on the ball. Pay attention to their off-the-ball movements, their positioning, their decision-making. And if you really want to take it to the next level, watch games in person. The high angle you get from a stadium view gives you an entirely different perspective on the game. You'll see how teams move as a unit, how and when they push forward, drop back, expand, or contract. You'll notice how individual players adjust their positioning based on the play. And if professional games are out of your budget, go to a local game. The concepts are the same. Watch how players create space, how they time their runs, and how they move without the ball. This will make you smarter on the pitch and it will directly improve your dribbling. You'll start to see patterns when defenders overcommit and where gaps open up. The more you analyze, the more instinctive these reads will become during your own matches. So make it a habit to watch games. Learn to become your own match analyzer and you'll see how much sharper and more unpredictable your dribbling becomes. I even suggest you watch full matches of youth academies and teams. Channels like Elite Scholars Football are perfect for this. They give you insight into the level required at these teams, especially if you're aiming to join one at your age. And if you're serious about analyzing games, check out this site named footballia.net. It's a goldmine for full matches of your favorite teams and players. Say you admire how R9 played, just type his name and dozens of his full games will pop up. The next thing you should do is identify your signature move. Every pro footballer has one. They don't focus on having a large arsenal of skills. Instead, they refine 2 or 3 moves until they become second nature. Messi relies on body feints, la croqueta, and fake shots. Have you ever seen him doing step overs or roulettes? Never. Because during his childhood, he developed a style unique to his size, genetics, and vision of the game. Yamal, his approach is completely different. He thrives on stepovers, roulettes, and soul rolls. That's what works for him. And this is what minimalism is all about. Stripping away unnecessary skills and focusing only on the ones that give you the best results. Now, if Lamine tried hard to copy Messi, we wouldn't see him now at Barcelona. And here comes the big question. How do you figure out what works best for you? I get asked this all the time. How do you know your position, your style, your strengths and weaknesses? This isn't something anyone can just tell you. It's something you discover by playing on the streets, at pickup games like small-sided matches, even barefoot, feeling the ground, the way the ball bounces, the energy of your opponents. That's how you find your style. And this is why so many young footballers emerge from Brazil, Africa, or even poor areas in Europe. Football isn't just a sport there, it's a culture. They grow up playing barefoot, learning to adapt, and socializing through the game. It's in this raw environment where you develop talent and your unique styles emerge, not in academies, rich environments, or solely individual training. Don't get me wrong, academies and individual training help with development, but they don't create raw talent. That happens in chaotic street games with no time to think, where you rely purely on instincts. The more you hone those instincts, the more natural your style becomes. This is why the improvement you get from street football is unmatched. It's not something you can replicate with cone drills or ball mastery routines pushed on social media. Those drills might help you with basics, but they'll never compare to raw, unfiltered games where you're forced to rely on your senses, your reactions, and your creativity. This is something Lamine Yamal himself did during his youth. He played on the streets of Barca just like so many other greats before him. And if you don't believe me, you can hear it straight from him in his own words.
Jugaba mucho con ellos porque mi padre me decía que no te iban a morder, entonces pues siempre corría con ellos. Al final jugar contra un perro yo creo que es lo más difícil que puedes hacer. Al final jugar en la calle, todo lo que sea 1 contra 1. Yo creo que me quitó el miedo de jugar con gente más grande. Al final siempre jugaba con amigos míos y los otros rivales eran de 20 años y yo tenía 11 o 12. Entonces yo creo que eso me quitó mucho el miedo y me hizo poder disfrutar y que pudiera jugar contra cualquiera y donde sea. Al final yo creo que todo eso te hace crecer, aunque tú creas que no te ayuda, siempre te ayuda porque al final cuando ves a uno más grande que tú sabes cómo ir a por él, cómo regatearle para que no te pueda.
The thing everybody notices about Yamal is his unshakable confidence and maturity at such a young age. And you already know this. I can give you the dribbling of Ronaldinho, the intelligence of Messi, the shot power of Ronaldo, but if you lack confidence, it won't matter. Confidence in football is everything. Without it, all the talent in the world won't take you anywhere. To build football-related confidence, you need evidence. Prove to yourself that you're improving. For example, if you're currently a bench warmer and in a few weeks after applying what you've learned, you earn a starting spot on your team, use that as fuel to build your belief. Yamal himself talked about how playing against bigger and older opponents gave him that confidence boost. Testing yourself against tougher challenges proves what you're capable of. Another way to build confidence is by creating a strong belief system, a set of values and reminders to keep you focused. Here's an example of the belief system I personally made for myself. Read it every morning and live according to it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to share it with your friends, and don't forget, we at Football Protocol have made a free chart with everything you need this year to improve in football. You can find it in my Discord community, linked in the description. Hit the protocol and take action.